Hey there, Quantum Flux. This is Spartan077 responding to your video, 5 Questions for Believers. I'm actually, I'll actually say right now, I'm actually responding to this to go ahead and respond to your questions, but I noticed in the video it seemed like you were looking at your monitor a little more than usual. I don't know as to whether or not what the motivation was for you asking the questions, but I will go ahead and answer them. Um, I'm afraid of me answering the questions and then you trying to put me in a trap is what it is. I don't necessarily look to try and argue with anybody. I will just go ahead and answer questions. But, I'm not saying like you have any ulterior motive, but oftentimes I encounter that and that kind of makes me upset. As to let's see. I put the questions up here. Should religion be exempt from criticism? I say no, because all religion is criticized because it needs to be criticized to figure out whether or not a belief system or a belief in a God has any legitimate validity, as in it's valid, it could be true, stuff like that. You have to criticize it. Christians criticize the Bible. They have to criticize the Bible. They have to look at the translations. They have to look at what is said by Jesus Christ and try to figure out as to whether or not they actually believe in the Bible. So I believe that religion, in all honesty, is not exempt from criticism. As to if a religion is criticized, is that the ultimate low of bigotry? I would say no, because that would be in a search for the truth, a search for as to whether or not they believe, or a person believes that there is a deity. Sometimes criticism could be a sign of bigotry. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that criticism does not mean that a person is bigoted. I'm saying that if it's an honest criticism, then it's not led by bigotry. But if it's something like, where somebody decides to say, there's this guy on YouTube, Amazing Atheist, and he goes and said, he was talking to a kid at one point, and he goes and says something like, so Jesus could have been a homosexual. That's pretty messed up. I mean, it seems like he said that to just be rude. And it's not even so much as he was asking because he wanted an honest answer from it, but that's bigoted. Like, you don't say something like that to a Christian unless you want to offend them. So, I'm saying criticism of a religion, a sign of bigotry, yes, it could be a sign, but that is not the ultimate reason for criticism. You are ultimately looking for the truth. The third question. I'm actually not sure what the third question was here. I wrote it down on a piece of paper, and religions is what I put. I'm not sure what the third question was here. The fourth question, you were talking about theocracy, or do you believe in a theocracy or the governments of the land? I believe in both. I believe, even though me being a Protestant, I believe that I don't necessarily have to listen to the Pope. I do respect the Pope, and every time he puts stuff out there, I would listen to it, even though I'm not a Catholic. But I am taught in the Bible to give unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and give unto God what is God's. So I am to obey the laws of my land. And yes, I would believe in both, rather than just one or the other. 5. What is the definition of atheism in my own words? Atheism, a lot of people will say, and I have seen a lot of people respond to this video, that will say it is a belief that there is no god, goddesses, or any kind of deity that controls this earth. Generally, that's the very general definition that's given for atheism. You have different sects of atheists. You have people that don't believe in a god. You have people that don't believe in any of the gods that we know about or have any kind of scripture about. So basically, they feel that if God exists, it's greater than anything that we know of the scriptures. Anything like the Torah, the Bible, the Quran, stuff like that. You have atheists that will go ahead and say, if you could bring me evidence, then I believe in a God. But as for now, I don't see any evidence. So there are different kinds of atheists, but the general definition of atheism, is the belief that there is no God or deity. or they accept what they feel is reality, and they feel that you know, basically you live one life and that's it. So live it to the fullest, and you will have a very, what they consider a fruitful life. They feel accountable towards social standards and stuff like that. Towards social issues and stuff like that. They feel accountable to the people here, and that's basically atheism in a nutshell. I went a little farther, but the definition in general is the belief that there is no deity. So I hope that I have satisfied your questions here. As to the third question, I am sorry. I just wrote down one words because I didn't have to write the whole thing down, and I'll probably answer it in another video. So, adios.